Welcome everyone, it's Vapors Dracomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. At least I completed that. We are going to try to climb up the Doom Tower once again. How do I want to handle this? We can try it this way. I've never tried it with this team comp yet. The fact that they have a Brogni is discouraging, but we can get rid of some of their stuff. The thing that's annoying about Brogni and why I'm actually kind of terrified is because Brogni, he's not a joke. He's very annoying. And I'm just going to chip out all the rest of the stuff he's got, cuz he can seriously mess us up. Okay. Thank God he's not in like final end gear, cuz that would suck. Okay. We're going to want to target Madame Saris first off. Vizier thankfully has trash for accuracy, or that would suck. It doesn't help that they too have a Seal of the Drakes. At least they get her revive out. I don't know how well she's booked. At least we got her out of the picture. Generally speaking, we're going to want to attack that. Yeah, the Vizier... I'm amazed I'm talking about a Vizier in their team, but yeah, they have a Vizier. Now I gotta go fight their Brogni. Thankfully, his shield ran out at just the right moment. I'm going full out assault on him because I know he's a problem. Generally, you want to go aggressive on Brogni, not passive, lest he steps all over you. Generally, that's how you want to go after Brogni. Generally speaking. You also don't want to put your buffs up until they've put up until Madame Saris you want to attack Brogni a lot if you can, because Brogni will hold up their entire team if you don't try to kill him. I will have to put up buffs on her, as she is in grave peril, actually, surprisingly enough. Okay, we're going to be focusing now on Madame Ceres, because she is a major thorn in the side of anyone who tries to protect their team. Especially if you don't have a Vogoth. Thankfully, we have a Vogoth, so even if she were to strip all my buffs, it would not be the end of the world, which I'm happy about. There we go, floor 31. Yeah, let's try it anyway. I'm always afraid of Vizier. Whenever I see a Vizier, because Vizier is very dangerous. Let's just try take this Flame Tongue out of the equation. And then, okay, we took the Flame Tongue out of the equation. So now we can just take Madame Ceres out of the equation, and then the rest of them will follow. I tried to do the two-factor authentication. I still haven't entirely figured it out. Oh, it's complicated. Right now, the focus is Madame Ceres because Madame Ceres has the most devastating part of the destroy my team comp style of stuff. I would rather not let Madame Ceres do that. There we go. Because then from there, we can put up the shields, etc. But Madame Ceres has to die first. Vogoth is relatively useful for here because of the Vogoth is relatively useful because he has that Burengiri-esque I'm really tanky, and if you hit me, you die kind of deal. Well, he takes it in a more literal sense, so he might actually allow me to defeat better content. The problem being is with the Dark Fae, I'm not going to put the same team that I use here with the Dark Fae, because an obscenely durable team will be nearly impossible for me to take out. So instead, we're going to want a team that's easier to take out than this team. That's generally what you're going to want. I say this because I basically have to destroy myself to beat that other floor. That's the bitter part, is I have to destroy myself in order to basically in order to win the actual Dark Fae. That's why the Dark Fae is so hard, because you can't bring an excessively durable team comp into the Dark Fae thing and get it done well. It's just like a stalemate because it's your own team. So that's part of why you don't want to bring the same one in. High Katoon will be useful. Vogoth when alone is easier to kill than when in a group. In a group, he's a nightmare. Generally, I'm trying to take out Foley, because if I leave Foley alive, Foley will do a lot of bad stuff to me. I'm gonna try several team comps versus Bommel too. I may need. Trying to think how I want to approach this, because I might need Drexthar, because I might need like a DPS like the Vogoth with like a high resistance, like maybe Drexthar and resistance gear. That's what I'm thinking. Like just put Drexthar in Bommel 1 gear with a bit of resistance on top, and then have Vogoth support. Like Vogoth and still support. Or something like that, yeah. That sounds about right. Generally, we're going to want to hit Foley. Get Foley out of the equation. Then get Sandlashed out of the equation. And then from there, kill this Queen Eva. Kill the Vergus. See, this is the thing. The champions I play start to come into. But it gets creepier, because what the boss does is it doesn't just use the champions you play. It uses them with stats that match yours. That's why it's really awful. That's why Dark Fae is not as fun as it sounds, because when I say shadow clones, I literally mean shadow clones. Yeah, you're definitely going to want the decreased defense. Destroy gear works best against other Verguses. But I do think at the end of this there's a Dark Fae. I do think that. I do think at the end of this is a Dark Fae. Now, the Dark Fae, yeah, I'm not going to use the same approach. I'm going to use a bit less defense, because the problem is, as tanky teams usually benefit you, not as much in Dark Fae, because of the problem of it works great against normal Doom Tower content, but when you have to destroy yourself and it's a bunch of tanks, yeah, you can see how that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I might not even include Vergus in that. Especially since the other one will steal the buffs. Like, I'm trying to think how I would do this. Because I don't have as many options in this account, and Dark Fae is a bit of a nightmare, not gonna lie. If you don't know how to fight, if you don't make a team comp, you can fight yourself. I think that's the idea, is to make a team comp that's not going to frustrate yourself with the champions you have, whatever champions you can get in Doom Tower. Because yes, I can get through most of the wave content with a very, very defensive, highly defensive team. But I'm not that type who can do that. Like, if my team comp is too defensive, we'll be here all night. Let me put it that way. I don't necessarily want a team comp that defensive. Because yes, I can make a team comp that would make Delta Down proud. Is it a nice team comp? No. No, Delta would have a nightmare if he had to face this team. Because he'd be like, I'm the tankiest team on the planet. And I'd be like, nah, man. Nah. You want to know, like, look how I could just look away. Look how little damage I'm taking from Doom Tower waves under normal circumstances. We're not talking about Bommel. I do not know how this is going to behave around Bommel 2. I assume Bommel 2, I'm going to have to do a special nightmare team comp. I'm going to have to include Master Butcher in it. Because the thing you have to understand is that Bommel is a special kind of killer. He's not normal. He is not normal. He is a disgusting form of killer. We're just going to want to attack this Raglan as fast as we can before the Raglan absolutely destroys us. Because that's the important part. We, as you can see, especially with that cleanse, yeah, okay, we're fine. But I had to go all in for the Raglan. Because Raglan is going to be a nightmare if I don't do something versus Raglan. Raglan is a pay-to-win, very annoying champion most of the time. Although she can be getting free-to-play very rarely. I call her pay-to-win because if you have her, the probability of you being pay-to-win is extremely high. Like, I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm just saying it's extremely high. Because she's that rare of a champion. And if you did get her free to play or pay to win, I would assume you got her during an event. You didn't just randomly pull her. Probably an event specifically for Raglan. That's what I'm thinking, anyway. Because you need some hella good RNG to get Raglan. Pretty sure. Now, Barath the Blood-Soaked, which is what I'm... This guy... you don't need that good of RNG to get him. Then again, he isn't the big problem. Raglan was. That's why I was targeting the living hell out of Raglan. Because if you don't target the living hell out of Raglan, you die. Oh, man. There's a reason you want decreased defense in this dungeon. Ugh. Oh, no. Okay. We got a stun going. We're going to want to all in this Raglan as much as possible. It does not help that someone put some obscenely disgusting amount of protection on her for some unknown reason. I don't understand who did that, but I assume it's the guy on the right. I assume. And I assume I might even need an armiger in order to make this work. Could be wrong about this, but I might need one. Because the problem is that, let me put it this way. Wet Noodle Fests versus this kind of team comp don't really favor anyone. So that's why I was like considering Armiger as a method of avoiding wet noodling this. Because the problem is if you wet noodle it versus, or close to wet noodle it, versus some of these team comps, they'll just infinitely revive. So that's something to note. So far, thankfully, that's not been I knew it. I knew it was the guy on the right. I knew it was him. I knew he had to be the... Like, the way he moves that with the block debuffs for 3 turns, VS with a strengthen and an ally protect and a shield. See, I knew it! Man... Why did I hate the fact that I knew that was the truth? This is going to be hard. Oh, this is going to be hard. What makes it harder is the fact that the Raglan is protected. Because the Raglan is going to keep their whole team alive. Raglan is the #1 target. Because if I don't kill Raglan, we're never getting out of this alive. Okay, we can get out of this alive now. Because all that needed to happen was Raglan to die. Because once Raglan dies, the rest of it is not a problem. Because a lot of their cleanses and nasty stuff is out of the way once you get the Raglan out. There's a reason I targeted Raglan specifically. It's because Raglan, I knew, was the problem. Now, here, we're definitely going to need an Armiger. Because this is the Sifi floor. And we are not getting anywhere without a block revive. And I mean anywhere. Because each one of these vermin if you can't block revive them, they will eternally be a problem. I might even use Armiger for this. I'm not Armiger, something else. Trying to think of a strategy. The main thing is to try to get one of these Sifis low. And maybe work on the Senescius. Because I have a kind of a self-sustaining way of doing this. We got to keep Syl alive and try to get one of these suckers low. Okay. New game plan. So what we're going to do instead is going to go straight for the Senescia and try to get her low. Now all the Sifi is stunned. Try to get a provoke. Try to get one of these suckers low. So if we can get one of them low enough and make sure that Armiger lives, we can block her revive. Like so. See, that's where Armiger comes in. Because once that happens, we've taken one of the nasties out of the equation permanently, which is what we want here. There's a reason why I brought Armiger into this specific equation. There's a reason I 6-starred an Armiger in the first place. It's because I wanted something to deal with things like Senescia. That's why. Because without stuff to deal with Senescia, you're kind of in a bind. Now, preferably, we're going to want to block revive her. Well, now we're in a bit of a predicament. Because I need to try to block revive one of these suckers. And we got to be patient and block revive one of these suckers. Get them to the right threshold. And then block revive them. Wait till their buff wears off. Decrease turn meter. Like, you can do this with Mortu Macabre. I just happen to have to do it with Armiger because I don't have a Mortu. And I don't have much with block revive on it. That's why I had to resort. This is not the quickest way of doing it, but it's the only way that I currently have access to. Because you'd be surprised how few champions actually have a block revive. Not many. Like, yes, I had Mortu Macabre on the other account to do that. We don't always have that as an option. I keep underestimating the damage. Okay, so we're going to want to do... Okay. Basically, this is going to continue forever until I get the block revive successfully off. That's the real issue here. That's the problem with the double C-fee. Good news is I got the block revive. Which means that sucker will not be coming back. This is literally what you have to do. You have to have something with a block revive, and you have to be patient and block the revive. Because if you don't, you're screwed. That's what you want. You want to get the C-fees, at least one of the C-fees block revived, and the other one dead, if possible, maybe. So then the other C-fee, because they will take turns reviving each other, which is not something you want. That's a lot of debuffs. I've got a bad feeling about these debuffs. I've got a feeling that's bad. I have to kill these soul drinkers. Gotta try to keep her alive. It's not help they ever remove buffs. Might as well lay the rest of that nut bar. Thankfully, I have Vogoth, which helps a lot. Turn meter, control him. Revive War Maiden. Because unfortunately, I need her alive for the decreased defense. Or otherwise, we're going to have a very bad situation on our hands. Which I would rather not have. We got to keep our barbarian faction ladies alive. I know one of them is more preferred in some ways, but Scylla the Drakes does have a similar physique, though, to War Maiden, so it's not like she's slouching in the looks department either. Neither of them are slouches on that. But enough about the looks department. I mean, we got Sifi. She has some looks, but she's also, you know, undead. Kind of creepy. Undead version. Although Dark Elhain is even prettier. Dark Elhain is actually very pretty. But she's also an undead. Vogoth is ugly, but don't let his appearance fool you. He's incredibly valuable. I've got to try to keep Syl alive. This is my reviver dies and theirs doesn't get block revived. We are in deep trouble. Yeah, hit the Vogoth. Not hit the Syl. Damn it. No. Hit the Vogoth. You evil vermin. Okay, let's just preliminarily do some damage. Okay, block the Sifi's revive. Okay, there we go. I did that on purpose. I did that because I know that this will never end unless Sifi dies. Sifi must die. The next one that's really annoying is Warlord. You may ask, why Warlord? Warlord has a massive shield and block debuffs, which will make this infinitely harder to do in some ways, because the problem with Warlord is his shield is really hard to penetrate, and I don't want it taking all night for me to kill this one floor, even though it may very well, because these basilisks are going to get some ideas. Thankfully, I think I do have a solution for these basilisks. There we go. Block revive the Solus. I think we can block revive this guy. We just have to get him low. Or not. Oh, well. Protect Armiger. Can we block revive him? Okay. Can we just kill him and then? Or will he revive again? Who the hell knows? Oh, not a Hedgie. Oh, I hate Hedgies. Ugh, it's gross. Okay. Here we're going to want a little more on the damage end. I think, right? We're going to want Vogoth as leader because we're going to want him to tank the bulk of it to heal the party. That's what we're going to want. Now, Dark Fae is another matter entirely. I probably will be using Vogoth because there's a simple strategy to counter Vogoth. But you have to do it yourself. Okay, there is a Rhodos in here. That's extremely bad. Yeah, kill the bloody Rhodos. I do not need Rhodos. I do not need Rhodos doing something weird in the mind. You know it's weird. I'm so glad I have the Vogoth in front. Because the Vogoth protects my team from the shock of that damage. Because normally, a Hegemon would rip my team to shreds. But because Vogoth is here, Vogoth stops that in its tracks. And puts a leech on him as well. Like, That I cannot emphasize to you how big of a deal that is. To have someone who literally just soaks all of the damage practically perfectly and puts a leech. Because it allows me to have a lot of freedom in team comps. I can actually put starter champions and stuff and have them live because Vogoth is there saving the day. That's why it's such a big deal to have a Vogoth on your team. That's why I'm so glad that I pulled him in the past. That's why I was so hyped. Oh, come off it. Syl. You. Attack. Thank you. What is going on? What the hell is going on? Why? What is going on with my... Okay, yeah. Just kill the Hegemon, please. Shittily geared Hegemon. I'm glad it's shittily geared because it allows my other suckers to dispatch them. I don't know what that bug was. There we go. So we're making progress. We are definitely making massive Doom Tower progress. Now, the question remains. Okay, that answers that question. Yeah, the one thing I like about this team is when you stun or decrease speed specific champions. Okay, I have to kill this. This is gonna sound nuts, but I'm have to go. Okay, I went ham on that dwarf lady. I think your name is Molly Tankard or something, because if she gets a turn, she'll not only provoke me, but she'll revive one of these other people, resetting my progress. Now, I do have an anti-reset progress, which is in the form of anti-reset progress is in the form of see, I don't know if I want, trying to think, how do I want to set this up with the Dark Fae? Because that's, I think, the next boss. I'm going to have to set up a specific strategy. Because the problem, the thing that's the most dangerous in this dungeon is not what you think. As ominous as it sounds, it's not what you think it is. So, if you want to know what the most dangerous thing in this dungeon is, it's your own champions. No, you did not mishear that. It's your own champions. I'd love to say it's not, but it is. So you have to think about it, like, because especially on this rotation, the most dangerous thing is your own champions because she mimics them, and that's the hardest part of the Dark Fae fight. Once you beat your own self, your own team, once you figure out how to beat your own team, the rest of it's cake. But it's to know how to beat yourself with your own stats. That, my friends, is the hard part. The hardest part of this rotation, other than Bommel, is can you beat yourself? That's the truth. As nasty as that sounds, that is literally what the hardest part of this dungeon is. Can you beat your own team? And here's the thing that's funny about this. The more OP your team is, the more annoying this actually becomes in some ways. And you have to think creatively how to deal with the monster that you created. I mean, some people are going to like that, others not. I have mixed feelings about it. It feels really weird and it's really hard to deal with, but it adds a level of true depth to Doom Tower. That's the one good thing about it. The best thing about the Dark Fae is it adds that element of extra depth, that acknowledgement of your power. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna want. Yeah, we're not gonna want. We're not gonna want Mashald alive. Because the second Mashald is alive, we are gonna have a very grievous problem on our hands. And also, you don't want to put up Ally Protect when Mashald is alive. Okay. Now, this is going to be really hard. And I'll explain in a minute why. So, what we're going to want is we're going to want Ninja for the freeze. We're going to want Vogoth because he doesn't spread his stuff too much, but can be useful in the waves. We're going to want Kale because he's kind of squishy. We're going to want High Katoon. And we're probably going to want Syl. Yeah, let's give it a shot. See, I don't know how this is going to end. So, please forgive me if I am naive on this boss. It's just the reason I didn't go for a full defensive team is because I didn't want this boss fight to be an absolute nightmare. Because the problem with having a very defensive team versus this boss is that you and the boss are like it mimics your tankiness. So if you are tanky, it's tanky. That's why you don't want a stupidly... This is the one fight in the game you actually don't want a stupidly tanky team. Because if you do have a stupidly tanky team, this is not going to be nice. Now, all you really need to do here is kill the Madame Ceres, and you're probably fine. Yeah, this fight is going to be really weird and hard, but I'm going to try my best to do it. Now, I specifically designed this team. Um, okay, fear. Oh wow, the true fear is no. It's the provoke. I screwed up already. Um, I screwed up already. And how do I want to design this? How about this team? So I'm trying to think of a team that isn't excessively tanky that my other suckers can just one shot, but then it goes both ways. That's the problem. Okay. Um. Stop. How? Okay, I screwed this up already. How do I want to set this up? Maybe like this? I don't know. I'm trying to get myself a comfort comp where I know I'm going to be able to do something nasty with it. I'm trying to think of something where Voga takes the brunt of it because he should. And then the other, like, I'm trying to think of some other team comp so that my speed lead doesn't instantly get cut out from the boss. Because the boss has a very rapid fire set of responses that's very hard to keep track of. So that's the problem here. Because once you pare the boss down, it really isn't hard to do. Now, okay, so then they're all gonna ally attack the Vogoth. Okay. Gonna want to attack the ninja. They're gonna hit the Vogoth again. I'm gonna go that. And then we just have to kill High Katoon. And then we should... No, the provoke. If I can just... No! Oh, wait, no, she's provoked. Okay. Gotta kill High Katoon. And then... Okay, now we've got Vogoth alone. That's not going to be too bad. This isn't good, though, because then they revived... Okay, I screwed up big time. Um... See... Well, actually, I nearly had it, actually. What am I talking about? Like, I just had to... Well, anyway, we'll do this in the next episode. As you could see, well, at least I'll try. First, I'm going to try not screwing up. Because, like, what's tough about this boss is that she also, like, removes people from action. And I'm trying to think how best to deal with that. That's the thing. 'Cause she revives people, and then if you're alone, like, she mind games you really hard. All right? Let me put it bluntly. This boss mind games you super, super hard. Like, ultra giga hard. That's what's the toughest part about this boss, is that she mind games you. She's not like anything else in this tower like in terms of mind games, she has the hardest mind game in the whole tower. Uh, so I have to go this brutal mind game and then the brutal weird resolve stat checky boss, the Bommel. So okay, I misplayed that. We'll do this in the next episode. I think I should have went for maybe the ninja better. We will get to that. We will get to that. I need to get my priorities straight.